All right, so as you can see, I am in a bit of a new setup here. I wanted to give a quick update of my training since the half marathon, which was a little over 2 weeks ago. I was planning to have run a 5K time trial by now to try to hit that sub 16 minute 5K time by now, but because of poor planning and a minor injury, that hasn't happened yet, but I'm still looking forward to hopefully planning that sometime either this weekend or early next week before I start my taper for NAOC. That's the current plan. The past 2 weeks have been a bit hectic since it was the end of my school year and I had graduation to go to and a lot of events. My family came over and there was just sort of a lot going on, which led to some suboptimal training decisions possibly and not much advanced planning for most of my training. So the training volume has been pretty decent in the last few weeks. I've been sort of maintaining my running volume in that 30 to 40 mile range. I did 35-ish miles the week after my half marathon, not including that Sunday, and did 38-ish miles last week, mostly easy running. With like one workout in there. I did run into some issues with my IT band starting this weekend, which now it's Wednesday, and the pain sort of started on Friday after a like 7-mile easy run. Just started getting a little twinge in the knee. If anyone's familiar with ITBS, it's a little painful sensation on the outside of the knee, but overall it wasn't too bad. So I sort of continued the training and realized now that I should have probably done some sort of rolling or massage to try to prevent that from getting worse. But now, after a couple more days of running with some moderate volume, like a 6-7 mile runs here and there, it got a bit worse. And 2 days ago it got quite a bit worse. It was hurting me, it was bothering me while I was walking around. So I decided to really cut back and just went for a light bike ride yesterday and going to go swimming today and sort of monitor and try to maybe go for a run tomorrow, see how it feels. So that's sort of what's been happening. I was planning to do a training weekend in Tahoe this weekend to do some training before the North American Champs, which will also be in Tahoe in 3 weeks from now, a little over 3 weeks. So I wanted to get a weekend out there to sort of train in that terrain and get used to orienteering again. However, plans are a bit up in the air right now because there aren't many good training maps, and I'd have to set up all the trainings myself, and there's only a couple days left until I'd have to make that decision. So and I haven't booked any place to stay, so this may have to end up getting pushed out to next weekend or the following weekend, depending on sort of my schedule and planning, and seeing if I could find any maps that I can train on. I know there's one map, Fallen Leaf Lake, which is not embargoed. Most of the other maps are embargoed, so training opportunities are not great. So we'll see. Besides that, I do want to start a light taper 2 weeks before 2 weeks before NAOC, which means this week is a high volume week, next week is a high volume week, and then I'll start dropping the volume after that. But I also have to be sort of careful with the running because, as I said, injuries are creeping up and I don't want to really ruin anything before those races. So that's the plan. As for the road to 15, it might have to be put on pause, or like I said earlier, I might try to look for something next week, some sort of local race or park run that I can do to sort of test out my speed. Whether I can do under 15, it's unclear. I haven't really been doing workouts. I haven't been doing a lot of volume, but I could just give it a good effort to sort of gauge my fitness before NAOC, which isn't a bad idea. So I'm thinking about it, and I'll update y'all with my training probably in a couple days, and I'll release this video hopefully when I do that 5K or park run and see how it goes. All right, I just ate dinner and wanted to make a little update video on the training. So I'm officially injured, as I've described it. I went on a run this morning. I wanted to go do some threshold intervals in my orienteering shoes, which I just had shipped from the East Coast to hopefully do a training weekend in Tahoe this weekend, but because of my knee, things didn't really pan out. So decided to do a little training run. I wanted to do some intervals in my orienteering shoes, sort of get used to the feel of those shoes before NAIOC, which is in 3 weeks. So went out to do those, and I've been struggling a bit with ITBS. I took some days off, it felt a little better, and now after doing a cycling session yesterday, no running yesterday, I started running this morning, and it just got worse and worse. I tried to start by doing a threshold interval, decided no threshold today, I'm just going to take it easy, going to do a little jog for like 45 minutes an hour, and it kept getting worse even when jogging easy. So we decided, screw it, I'm just going to take a few days off. So that's why I'm officially injured. I'm taking some time off, hopefully only a few days, but I really want it to feel better. I'm going to focus on recovery. So I'd say either Tuesday or Wednesday I'll try another run, see how it goes, see if I still feel anything, and then sort of build up from there. It's a bit unfortunate timing. I was hoping to sort of run through it until I started my taper for NAIOC, but things did not work out. It was kind of bothering me too much, and I really want to get this fixed early because I know how much of a pain this can be if it's not fixed early, like the time I took multiple months off because of the same injury. So definitely don't want to do that again, so I'm going to be extra careful. And yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to take a few days off and come back to it. I mean, I'm not worried too much about losing fitness. I was just kind of hoping to do a higher volume week this week and then back off the following 2 weeks. But it looks like I'm going to have to sort of scratch that plan and come up with something new. I might try like a 5K time trial next week or something to keep things interesting. But for now, focus on recovery and feeling good for NAIOC. And yeah, I'm excited to race. I wish I got more of an opportunity to do some orienteering training, but it's possible that in 2 weeks from now, sort of the weekend before all the NAIOC festivities start, I'm going to do a similar training weekend to what I was planning this weekend. I know 2 maps in the area, and then I might try to make my own LiDAR map during my free time this summer, or during the next few weeks, I suppose, and then use that LiDAR map as one of the training maps for that weekend. But it'll probably be less intense because at that point I'll already be sort of resting a bit for NAIOC, but still be good to do it in orienteering weekend because I'm sort of out of practice. Also, I should probably start playing some catching features to get used to map reading again, maybe doing some map reading exercises. So that's sort of what's on the menu. I'm excited to race at NAIOC, and I'm looking forward to my performance. I think I'm pretty strong physically, and it'll just come down to how well I perform the orienteering, which, as I remember from Tahoe last time, can be pretty tricky, and I did quite well last time. I sort of nailed things, won the long and did pretty well in the middle, so hopefully I can pull off something like that again or even better, but just sort of have to wait and see. And yeah, get things in line, get this injury fixed up, and get ready to orienteer. So that's the plan. Thanks for listening.